since we didn't talk again this week, because we never did, which is, honestly,
I'm liking this.
I'm on board.
If there's one upside to this podcast,
Big fan.
I have not talked to you.
Big fan.
Like an industrial fan? Or?
Yeah. Big fan. I'm just trying to think, because I know we're going to go over some of the left turn, right turn, and like, I guess, missed opportunities or whatever they were. You know what I mean?
Do you remember when we went to Chicago and that woman had her GPS with her voice in it?
Yes. Okay, first off, Mac, start recording.
We're recording.
Okay.
We're good.
Hey, this is That Checks Out with Damon and Ted. And Ted's going to roll back in, and his face is already red because we started before we started. But so this week, we're going to talk about the left turn, right turn thing and the missed opportunities. But Mr. Wilson has a very fun story he just reminded me of when we were with our buddy, Mr. Carly, who does some of our artwork. And let everybody know what it is, Ted.
We were in Chicago. We were taking Damon and I were taking a field trip to visit Eric in Chicago, and we got I don't know if it's Lyft or Uber, one of the rides. And we got in, GPS will direct you where to go using a certain voice. Usually it's a British lady, or you can pick a handsome man. Just like, turn left. Now, we got in, the lady's talking, like, hey, how you guys doing? The driver's talking to us, how you guys doing? Where you going? What are you doing today? Oh, you've been friends forever. That's great. We start driving. Suddenly, the GPS starts talking in that lady's voice. She had programmed it, and it was all like, turn left now, honey. Oh, 3 miles, you're going to hang a right. And we thought she was talking out loud to herself. We didn't realize it was the GPS.
Yeah. We literally, me and Ted are in the back seat because Carly kind of knows where we're going too. So it's like for us to sit in the front makes no sense. So we're in the back and we hear the voice, and I think it's literally her saying, turn left in 400 feet.
Right.
And I'm like, and so we watch a couple times. Her mouth's not moving, but the sound's coming out. Then we realize her church music that was coming through the speakers was going away, and her own voice was coming up for directions. And he just reminded me of that. It was awesome.
Well, you said we're going to do left turn, right turn. Now, like we're going to GPS ourselves
the
through
GPS.
this.
That was hysterical.
Answer the question now.
Yeah. But it was her own voice. Yeah. We got out of the car, and
we all had to confirm. Like, was that her talking?
Right. And Carly had to sit next to her, and not laugh and not make. Was we're in the back, like, oh goodness.
Well, then we went. We took her where we usually do. She asked where we were from, and we told her we're from a town where what was this, like, dogs attack people, or it was some weird story.
Yeah, we made up some real weird story, like, at every graduation, there's usually a random dog attack. And she's
dog
like,
dog will eat one of the students. We don't talk about it. It's not in the news. We try to keep it hidden.
Yeah, she was, and like all three of us, she's like, oh my Lord. Oh, and she was just all concerned.
Yeah. Eric can tell a very convincing story.
Yeah. And we get out of the car. Well, because he's the only one who can make eye contact with her.
Right.
So he's turning his head. He's like, no, what he's saying, that's right. I mean, it was awkward. Our graduation, we lost one person like that. And she's like, no way. And we're like, me and Ted are in the backseat, like, yeah, it's very unfortunate, but like your graduation day doesn't mean you're going to start the rest of your life when you graduate from school. Yeah. And it was ridiculous. And she was what, mid 40s?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, maybe 50, but she was right. It's not like we were,
like a young kid.
She was our age. Right. She was our age or slightly older. So it wasn't,
she'd seen some episodes of Cheers. I mean, she's been around.
Yes. But, so left turn, right turn, and, it won't be in her voice, but it might be in Ted's when we do it. But
I haven't seen you. How's your week been before we get into the meat of it? How you been doing?
Week's been different. And I'll be honest with you, I want to apologize to anybody else too who follows us on social media and this and that. I limited the post I was doing. I limited my time on social media. I had a lot of extracurricular activities that were not great, to be honest with you. But some emergencies I had to tend to. And so in doing so, I feel like, and plus the fact we did Facebook Live last time, remember?
Yeah, it was an entirely different setup.
Yeah, absolutely. So I looked at the numbers a little bit, and honestly, I mean, it's not something that we put on anybody else, but we were down a little bit. But I think it's because a lot of people watched it live or went back and watched the video because we put it up then on our page. Well,
it was an experiment. We want to see. I mean, it was a bonus thing. We're extra. We're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Big Mac producers coming in.
It made me not. It made me not wear a green shirt today. Just in case we wanted to do anything, but I really didn't want to because it really threw off my whole game.
Yeah, you were very much watching the monitor the whole
I was
time.
watching the monitor. I was like, what are people seeing?
No, you were more like, I look good.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a given.
Yeah, in your head.
I like when you leaned over there and you're like, I'm watching the same monitor now.
Yeah, I thought maybe it
I'm
was
not
from your angle. It cut
Yeah.
some gross
But,
stuff, but no, it was all the same.
But yeah, so like I said, we wanted to kind of
Well, I
start
regret
off.
asking you because I was just trying to have some small talk and that went dark. I will
Yeah.
tell you this. I had some good news. I believe
Well,
I'm going to be booked.
hold on, I didn't ask.
I don't care. I'm putting this out there anyway.
Okay, you're gonna be booked somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna be booked somewhere. I don't have the exact date yet, but I will put that on social media.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different thing. We're going to pre-record it, and it's going to be broadcast. Just for the social distancing thing. We're still not all clubs are open yet, so
Okay.
it's work. I don't care.
Right.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But I should be back on stage. I should have those details early next week.
Really?
By the time this comes out, maybe I'll know. I don't know, but follow us on That Checks Out. I will put it on there because I will heavily market myself. Damon is not allowed to be there.
Yeah. Hey, that checks out.
That does check out.
You know what though? The first time that you did a big set and this and that, where you were a feature or a headline, not a headliner, but is that called a feature?
Yeah,
right?
Feature.
So you had 25, 30 minute set, I was there for the first one.
You were.
I was there. I sat, where did I sit?
Right in front.
I could have held the mic.
Yeah.
I
That's
coulda held the
what
mic.
comedians love. They love their friends and family right up front.
Yeah. Yeah. So
To be fair, though, we did boot my mom to the back because she was there.
I was going to
And
say, to be fair.
You know what you don't want in the audience?
Hmm.
Your parents.
Yeah.
Just telling you.
Hey, how'd your mom get there?
Some jerk drove her up, from what I understand.
Yep. Your mom came in my car and I offered her my seat.
On the ride up?
Yeah. Nope.
Take the wheel.
Yep.
I got to lean out
No, on
and
the way
fire some
there.
bow and arrows.
So on the way there, and I knew she wouldn't, but I was glad that she sat in the back because I'm sure
I'm very
that's
glad.
got to be so awkward if you were to walk out and be like, "Cool," and there's my mom.
I'm going to tell some poop jokes in front of my mommy.
Yeah. So, but no, I go to a lot of Ted stuff because he's very entertaining. He knows some really funny people too, so they put on some good shows.
Because the stuff that's around Ted is hilarious.
Yeah. Had to clear my throat on that one.
Ted told a funny joke because it was about him.
Yeah.
Being dumb.
So let's get into this left
You already
turn,
choking
right
up?
turn.
You already choking up there?
I am. Let's get into this left turn, right
You okay,
turn
buddy?
stuff. Yeah. Hey, so I have a couple for myself.
Okay.
I'm going to do one first because what was weird is, so my wife was listening to the podcast. Well, of course, she was watching it on Facebook Live last time.
Yes, and we talked about zebra cakes, and she gave a wonderful present to producer Big Mac and myself, a box of zebra cakes that did not have your name on them, I noticed.
Yes, I also watched.
You got a gift. What did you get?
I got an empty toilet paper roll wrapped in a bag. And Mac laughed while he was opening his delicious zebra cakes.
He ate those right in front of you.
How many ate of those already, Mac? How many?
Just 2.
Just 2.
How you know what? That's 2 more than you've had.
That is 2 more than I've had. Yeah. How many did you offer me, Mac?
None.
That's what I thought. Okay. Nope.
I like that math. Yeah,
Nope.
he went to his no
Yeah.
button.
Nope. Yeah. Can I have some of those?
Nope.
So, sorry, I have something in my throat. You talk, Ted, for a second.
You don't have entertainment in your throat, I'll tell you that.
I'm not.
So I'm glad this was your segment. Now
That's
you
not
want me to
funny.
talk.
That's not funny, man.
So
I could have been dying.
Let me redirect. Your wife was listening to the podcast.
Yeah, she was listening to the podcast, and she said, "Well, if you could go back and change something, then would you not meet me?" And I was like, "No," because some of the stuff we're going through is with some of my kids, and I got some older kids, and it's been a real hassle recently.
Foreshadowing. Right? Ask me that question. See what you get. And I don't mean your wife. I mean,
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
So yes, would you change anything that would prevent you from meeting?
No. So actually, I thought it's kind of the opposite. That night that I met my wife, well, allegedly met my wife.
Do we need to set the tone?
We kind of do.
All right,
so I was
turn the lights down low, everybody.
I was a member of a union, and we had a training class that night, and I'd already worked all day. And afterwards, they like to stop for some, we'll call them sodas, right?
Sure.
And you know me, I don't drink sodas, so
Correct.
It doesn't matter. But they had karaoke there, and I before I had my tonsils out, I could do okay. I don't know what I do now, but I could do okay. So they're trying to con me into it, and I didn't want to go. And so I ended up saying, all right, I'm going to go, I'll head over. We'll do it. And she walked in that night in a red dress. So I was like, And when I sang something, then we started talking, and yeah.
Did you sing Lady in Red? Because if you did, I am out for good. No jokes, no nothing. Out.
She was not dancing with me. So yeah, I was singing.
That totally makes sense.
But no, honestly, I'm glad I took that turn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's one of those where you're like, you had either way to go. I chose the right way. And then I guess fast forward to rewind, if you will. I go back to work the next day, you know, because it was class night. So, I mean, I go to work the next day and I'm talking to the guys and I'm like, yeah, I said, I met a girl last night. She was really nice, you know, and this and that. And I said, I got her number. And they said, what's her name? And I'm like, I don't remember. I think it's Connie. Her name's Nicole.
Were you eating pizza at the time?
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
It's either Connie or Nancy's.
Yeah.
Or
Papa John.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they call her.
It could be Little Caesar now that I think about it. Maybe it's pizza? I don't know.
Yeah. The dominoes are really falling. All right. There you go. Hey, dad joke. I threw it in. But anyway.
I'm going to throw it out.
Yeah. So I tell them that. So they said, what are you going to do? I said, well, I got caller ID, man. When she calls me, right, I'll see it on the caller ID. So I get the phone call because this is, you know, back in the day, you get the caller ID pops up and it says Nicole. And I'm like, damn it. Does she have a roommate named Nicole and the phone's in her name and her name's really Connie? I talked to her for like an hour before I didn't even use her name because I didn't know it. You know what I mean? So we're talking and this and that and we get done. And I go in the next day. I'm like, yeah, I talked to her last night. She really, I think, what's her name? I said, still don't know. You know, I still don't know. So we get to it, like by the third phone call, I just come clean and I go, just so you know, I thought your name was Connie. And she's like, what? I said, I thought your name was Connie. And I said, I'm being serious. And she goes, oh, well, then you're Daryl. So we were Connie and Daryl for a long time, you know, like that. We just made fun of it. But she told me that she had met me before when I was with the same group of friends, but different, like different factions of them, like the friends of those friends, right?
Like some sort of wacky racers thing?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but she was with, because it's one of my good friends and he was in my wedding. It's one of his friends and she was out with her and I didn't know that. Well, I had remember seeing his friend there. I remember seeing her, but I didn't remember Nicole. And that night I had a couple of sodas and I was with my buddies and we were screwing around, you know, so, and I don't remember, but I guess I stood up for her because somebody kept bugging them trying to be like, hey. And she remembered that and I don't know. So it was just weird. But she goes, that's the second time we met. I said, no, it ain't. It's first. So if she tells you the story when we met, it'll be at some place where she was with her friend Lori and they met and they met me. She met me. And if I tell the story, she walked in a red dress and I remember, and she sat down with her friend Lori right there with my buddy Rich and everybody else at the table. But I'm glad I went that night.
So 2 takeaways.
Yeah. You have been sitting there patiently.
No.
But you look very eager.
Maybe 3
so I'm nervous.
Maybe 3 takeaways.
Okay.
1, you didn't remember your wife's name. You don't remember the actual time you first met her. And Brian, were you in Damon's wedding? Because I certainly wasn't.
Nope.
Yeah. No. That checks out.
No, I did not know Brian then.
Oh, you didn't know Brian then. But
Yeah.
if I did the math, you knew.
Well, me and you have only known each other since we were 6.
Yeah.
You don't know when I got married.
Right.
You don't know any of this.
Sure.
Don't judge me.
Sure.
But I just like I said, that was one of the ones where when she said it, it wouldn't be something I guess that I would have totally popped in my head, seriously. But when she said it, I thought, no, kind of the exact opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm glad I chose to go do that. But you know, so far it's been the right choice. She pays for it every day.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she was giving you a hint.
Yeah.
Like, could you go back and if you could you not meet me?
Right. So I'm going to lead you.
Or could you meet Connie, I guess? Like, did you ever like figure out why you thought that? Was there any?
No, I really don't know why that name just popped out, but I was just like, hey, I think it's Connie. I don't know.
That would be great with that first phone call. You would have been like, so what do you think about con men? Have you ever been to Constantinople? Like, why do you keep...
It's Istanbul,
Yeah.
not Constantinople.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep bringing up con words to see if...
You ever seen the movie Con Air? But that's the first thing I thought. How smooth. I'm like, I'll get it right off the caller ID. The ID comes up and I'm like, oh, but what if she has like a roommate or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that stuff could happen, you know? So we, like I said, we laugh about it now. And of course, now I call her Dookie affectionately. That's what
Yeah.
I've called her for years.
Yeah.
So
and
I don't.
Not like in a DUKEY, like an actual DOOK, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like some people have termed poop.
Correct.
Okay. Just
Correct.
that's out there.
No, I understand.
All right.
I understand.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So do you, and like I said, I have another one too, but do you have one?
I have a few, but I have an interesting one. I was trying to think of one. I regret This is actual regret.
You said you weren't going to have regrets.
I know that. This is an actual regret, though.
Okay.
I was invited to go on the television program The View, and I turned it down.
Well, okay. To go on as a guest?
No, not as a guest, but
to go and view it, to be in the audience?
They were looking for specific audience members, yes. So it wouldn't have been as like I wouldn't have been on stage, but there was a group of people they wanted specifically for the show.
Okay.
And I didn't at the time. I was in college. I didn't have like it wouldn't have been easy, and I didn't make the effort. I was just like, no, I can't make that happen.
No, I understand.
What it was is that it was the final. It was a production push for the final episode of Columbo. Peter Falk was going to be there. They wanted huge Columbo fans to be in the audience to tell Peter how much they had loved his work throughout the years, and there was actually going to be an interaction with members of the audience, maybe 10 or 15 people. They specifically reached out to me. And I was like, no, I can't make that happen. I'm a college kid. I don't have the money to go to California. I don't feel like I can ask my parents for that. I should have found a way. Because it's a thing that, I'll never have that. Clearly, the man died 8-10 years ago. But it would have been amazing. There's been a story I could have told forever. Like, yeah. ABC flew me out to meet Peter Falk because they knew I was a Columbo super fan. It's so weird.
That's
And I forget about it every now and then. And because I've had my email since 1931, about the same time we bought those zebra cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had it forever. Like I had that email forever. I don't know what happened to it. I lost it at some point. But yeah, we just keep it up. Like, hey, there's the producer of The View asking me if I want to come meet Peter Falk. Like we're best buds and stuff. Yeah, it's just weird. Like,
so it's something like you said.
Behind you, Brian is doing the thing where he puts it on the guy that's in the picture. I was supposed to be with that guy. That's the guy that runs the Columbo File website. I'm supposed to be with him. So
you and again, because I know last week you had said, "Hey, I don't have any regrets." And again, sometimes they don't pop in your head.
Yeah, I was just. It's not really a regret, but I was like a left turn, right turn kind of thing. But I do regret. I guess that one because it's not like a life ending regret. Like my life would be no different today. I would just have that story.
Right. It's a missed opportunity. Well, remember Gina reached out. She gave us the big long story about her missed opportunity. She sent it. She put it right on our Facebook page. But her missed opportunity was she had a chance. Now she's styles hair and does all that. We're
going to shoehorn your buddy in. Here we go.
Okay. So she had a chance to go out to California and get some, I don't want to say expert training because she's an expert at what she does, but
different level of exposure.
Yeah, different level of exposure.
Different side of the business.
Different clientele.
Right.
You know what I mean? High end area, this and that. And she said she ate some bad pizza.
Right. Oh no, she had some pizza. It was in the car overnight.
Yeah. She apparently did not store the pizza properly because I'm guessing like a Ford Escort's probably not the proper way to do it. I don't know what she drove at the time. I'm just throwing a car out there. But that being said, she got violently ill, and the flight that was already paid for, she said that she had to back out, and I'm sure they gave a sour taste to anybody to try to reschedule something like that. I'm sure, but she missed that opportunity. So my reply, which is what Ted was, you're going to shoehorn this in. My reply was, so you're telling me right now you could be doing Tony Danza's hair.
And there he is, folks.
Yeah. Well, I go to stars. You know what I mean?
Tony Danza's on your list?
Yeah. Yeah. Gina could be doing Tony Danza's hair right now.
She's in the Chicago suburbs. She could probably still be doing Tony Danza's hair right now.
She could be doing a guy that looks like Tony Danza, but it's not Tony Danza.
What do you think Tony Danza's doing? What's the last thing Tony Danza did?
I watched Who's the Boss.
No, he was on a Netflix show with Josh Groban. It was
one
season. Yeah, he was the dad who was a former cop, went to prison. Josh Groban was also a cop, but he was trying to get out of his dad's shadow. Detective.
To me, he's kind of like the, I never watch Friends a lot, but isn't he kind of like the guy that played Joey on Friends?
Well, yeah, because he played Tony in every,
right.
He was Tony on this show too, yeah.
Right, so he's like I played this character, and this is what it is. So, but no, that was my go-to, Tony Danza. So, but
you just want him to hold you close.
Hindsight 2020, she said she doesn't have regrets. That was a turn that didn't happen. And like I said, people didn't have to have regrets. Most of the people that reach out to me, it was smaller stuff.
Yeah.
It was, you know what? I didn't take this job over that job. And you know what? Now I see what that job pays. And I would have been there for 15 years already and because they're a loyal person.
Yeah.
So
it's so easy to admit, in hindsight, say well, I should have done this because it might,
right.
You never know. That job could have ended 2 minutes later.
But
you just got to go. I can understand that. Yes, you might want to know what would have happened.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you really don't want to know what would have happened.
I was going to say, and being serious, that I regretted not doing this 2 years ago when we started it because of how far along we could be right now.
Well, I'm blaming Big Mac for that.
Yeah. But how far we're coming in such a short time. I'm looking at that and I'm going, wow, if I had 2 years of time in this with stuff and this and that, and I look at it, but I don't think I regret it because I don't think the quality, and that's a shout to you, Big Mac, but the quality of what we're doing and how it sounds and how it's more polished.
Yeah.
Again, when we were worried about the quality, not what we actually did, you know what I mean? And I won't say quantity.
The sound quality,
the sound quality,
not the content
not
quality.
the content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you're sitting there and you're watching the screen and you're trying to listen and you're doing all this, you can't be you.
It's funny you say that because I went back last week or the week before. We still have a trailer up from the I'm Just Saying podcast from 2 years ago. We say, like, hey, we're working on it. We're going to come out. You sound fantastic. I sound like I'm talking from the bottom of a swimming pool that's under a well.
Yeah.
Like I sound so far away and so like echoed out.
Well,
but that's how it was. We couldn't figure out. We couldn't make both of us sound. We could make one sound good at the same time, and the one we put up is the one where you sound crystal clear.
Or I honestly, and for everybody that listens to, please know, when Ted asked me, "Hey, how's my week, man?" This and that, it's because we haven't talked.
Yeah.
And this week it was more by design because I'm going to go outside and cry on his shoulder when we're done probably and say all kinds of garbage.
I got to go. Ryan, you going to stick around for like a half hour?
If you hear the car door and wheels turning, that's Ted leaving.
The Homer. Like,
yeah. But that being said, we like to keep this fresh when we walk in and that's how we did the others too.
Yeah.
But the bad part is when the sound's bad, you can't go back and capture that energy.
Right.
You can't. I'm sorry. You can't. I did some videos for my work this week too with a guy I work with and this and that. And the first one was spot on. Guess what? I didn't say something about the giveaway we're doing that would really
the whole
make
purpose of the video.
Well, no. It would make it way more understandable, and the video would speak for itself instead of us having to caption something, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, let's do it again. We never captured the energy of the first video again. Now the third video went up, and it's fine. But it's just one of those things where it's like, same thing. We walk out of here, we lean on the brick wall right outside Audiohive Podcast when we leave.
Yeah.
We do it every time. We say, what do we want to say? I don't know. We turn the camera on and we talk.
Right. You
can't, you know what I mean? That's why I said that the energy that comes when you come in the door, it's like, Norm, you know what I mean? We're doing cheers, So like I said, I really feel like this happened for a reason, but looking back, so I don't think I regret it because maybe we wouldn't be as, you know what I mean? Because again, it really was. It was hollow. It was bad. The sound quality.
There's other things too, like the work-life balance. I don't think we would have been able to do this because we were having trouble just getting together.
Yeah.
So,
and that was the one that was at my house, and that was hard to do.
Yeah.
So this is more of a neutral site. I mean, you have to drive a little farther than I do, but it's a little more. We're both kind of going out of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is local. This is great. It's in our backyard.
Like you said, we don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. We just have to come here and talk.
Yeah.
We have a professional that actually does all the
sound stuff. And then he hired Big Mac, and he's here. So yeah.
Wow.
That's a dig on you for eating zebra cakes and not offering me none. Just so you know.
He's over there.
Do you want a zebra cake?
Huh?
You want one?
No.
You can have one.
I can have one. There's two in a package.
You can have one package.
Oh man. You know what? I might take you up on that afterwards. I think you're just being nice recordings on. I should take them now.
No, honestly. So if you go back and look at the video from last week, when I had the pictures of the zebra cakes on this screen here, you had like a predatory gaze.
That's true.
I
was a little scared. I was like, holy shit, he is really intense right
now. That was the first thing you looked at?
Yeah.
Besides yourself with any kind of like passion.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest.
That was the only thing that made you turn your head from your own image. You were like, oh, zebra cakes.
So just to put it in terms, if the zebra cake was a gazelle, I was a very, very fat lion that was going to run it down regardless. Okay.
Just,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, you're going to hear a lot of wheezing between the chewing, but I would definitely catch
Is he in a doctor's office? Did they ask him to breathe hard?
Did that gazelle run upstairs? But
does he have a stethoscope on him right now?
But
you can breathe normal now. You can breathe normal.
So there is a commitment
here.
You
ever notice that doctors never they always breathe deep. And then you do that for 6 times and they're like, you can breathe normal. You never said when to stop. You're the doctor.
Okay. No, I like what you said there, but can we go back to what's important?
I don't care.
You guys heard he committed. I'm getting zebra cakes.
Well, he's giving you that. I gave him my half, so he's probably giving them out of my half. I would do that.
You would give them out of somebody else's. Oh yeah. I guess you're really
he wasn't expecting to get all of those.
If you want to take half of this glitter, too.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my wife put glitter on the package.
She glitter bombed us.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Cool.
But so anyway, back to where we're at. So I guess that's not a regret because I don't think we'd be where we are right now.
It's a what if.
You know what I mean? It is a what if. It's left turn, right turn. We went right. We could have went left. You know. You said you might have one that's a little disturbing.
Left turn.
You got a left turn?
Right turn. I thought you said that you had another one. Or do you have any other from any other people?
Hey, I do have one more of my own that I kind of want to bogart this in because you know what? I think it's a good story.
We'll go with it.
But man, is it personal?
I hope you do.
Okay.
I hope you go with it.
All right, you ready? My left turn.
I'm not ready.
Okay.
No, I'm ready.
Okay. How about now?
No.
How about now?
When will then be now?
Yeah, soon.
Okay.
I wish I would have waited to get a vasectomy. And your face went blank.
Yeah, could you
so
feel
that's
the
why
air
I
suck
paused.
out of this room?
That's why I paused because your face went blank.
I can get to the door. Big Mac has to get through a lot of stuff, and
First
he
off,
was debating like, how do I get through this place and not have them see I left?
First off, if you have 3 points on this one, like you did on my first one of them should not be. I'd like to see the scar.
Nope.
But anyway,
I have no points at this point.
Okay, just checking.
0 points of interest.
So interesting story.
Not so far.
You are correct. That checks out. So interesting story. I go in for the for the old cut and tie. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
we get it.
Yeah, the snip. And I'm in the room waiting. Okay. I'm in the room waiting. And the nurse comes in and she sets up like a little Bluetooth speaker, like I have in my bathroom if I want to hear my music over the shower. Okay. It sits on my counter in my bathroom. So she sets down this Bluetooth speaker. She sets down what, like at that time was probably an iPod, you know what I mean? Not a phone, but you know, cause my daughter's 11. So this was like, 11 years ago, you know what I mean? So she sets it down. She turns on like, if you were marching to war music, like literally like, just like marching band. Okay.
Like Philip Sousa,
but here's the deal. Just percussion. There are no wind instruments. There are no stringed instruments, just percussion. Like I'm leading George Washington to your Netherlands and we're going to snip. Okay.
You're Dutch? I didn't know that.
Yes, the Netherlands. So anyway, I would have said region, but Netherlands sounds so much better. So this music plays and she looks at me and she goes, the doctor likes to have music on when he's performing surgery.
And you should have said, I would like to have music too. Could you turn on some music?
So I was like, okay, this is weird. Now I'd met him once, right? But he walks in and we're talking because he's trying to first off, you're never going to make me calm. All right. There's nothing like, hey, how was your weekend?
No, is it just that particular procedure or you don't like medicine in general? Or like being in a
I don't
hospital
mind being
or doctors?
I don't mind being at a doctor's office. I don't go very often.
Because I know some people are like, they just don't like that at all.
Right. No, because like I can go to a doctor's office and you can take my blood pressure and it's totally normal. Where other people, they get in there and they're like, your blood pressure's high. I'm here.
Right.
I know people like that, but no, I'm not one of those. I am because of what's going on. I'm probably a little more tense.
Yeah. Situationally, it's probably getting you.
So this is the honest truth. He shuts the door. I put my arm. So I'm laid back. Right. And I got my right arm over my eyes and my eyes are shut. This is what I hear. That's a knock on the table, right? In this case, it was the door. And the doctor says, come in. Now, mind you, I haven't looked at anything, not even the ceiling tile. And I hear probably somewhere between 4 to 6 women's voices.
Oh, are you a training class?
Apparently so.
Yay.
I did not get a heads up on.
That's weird because usually they ask you.
I know. And this was very bad. Now, here's the deal. Unless I signed something and they didn't tell me I signed something, but it was extremely awkward.
Put a pin in that, Big Mac.
Okay.
Because apparently we can get him to sign stuff without reading it.
Yes.
Excellent.
Correct. That's correct. So for zebra cakes, I will sign lots of stuff. So anyway, now
Google living will while he's talking.
Now I hear all these voices and they're all women's voices. Okay. And my wife's outside. So I know she ain't one of them. And I'd recognize that voice.
Laugh, you mean?
Yeah. They do the whole procedure. Okay. They get done. I go out and now I'm walking through a room full of women that work in the office there. I have no idea. I mean, was the janitor in there? I have no idea who was in there. You know what I mean? I just know they were all female. So I have to go and I have to sign out. I have to sign the thing, that I'm responsible for this and pay my copay or whatever it was and do that. So I'm looking down at the floor the whole time, and I'm in pain, but I'm on medicine right now. Right. So it's not, you know what I mean? And you have like an anesthesia type stuff for the Netherlands that numbs it, you know, so you're fine. So I tell my wife about it in the parking lot, and she dies laughing. Like it's the funniest thing ever. I'm like, I couldn't make eye contact with one woman in that office because I have no idea who. And even when she was talking, my wife was paying like with the card and stuff, you know, that she was talking. I'm like, does that voice sound familiar? I don't know. Is it that voice? Wait. And then you see two of them over there talking. Like, are you talking about me? Look, I was in the pool. You know what I mean? You just start making up all this stuff. You're
can you say this sentence out loud?
Yeah.
I've never seen someone that big so small. Can you say that out loud?
Right.
Okay, you were not in there. Can you say this out?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And number 1, step back. Number 2.
Yeah.
Say the sentence. Nope. Step back.
Right.
You got to line up in
there. It was very, very, very just treacherous. I mean, it wiped me out. Now, fast forward maybe 10 days. I don't even think a whole month. Okay. I'm driving to work and I hear commercial on the TV or on the radio that says all new, non-invasive, no cutting, boom, 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 done. That's where they do the surgery now.
Yeah, they advanced science in the 10 days you were
in the 10. Right, I hand to God. I'm not. I wish I was lying. I'm not lying at all.
They're probably like, hey, we can do this, but we got one more guy.
Right,
we want to ride through the old way.
They're like, you know what? How am I going to get this class if we can't do it the old way? Yeah,
we need a just in case class. So yeah, we got a guy.
It was yeah. It's still, and that's why that story popped in my head when I started
just
saying
waited 1 month.
If I'd waited a month, you know what I mean? and I just thought, you know, yeah. So my daughter was the blessing we didn't know we wanted. But then after that, we knew we were at 4 and we're like, you know what? We're going to be good. And it's not fair to make your wife take drugs all the time. So I said, you know, sure. And if I'd have waited a month, Ted, you know, and you know, the problem is I'm probably just so attractive. Like, how would I keep her off me for a whole month? Right. And that's probably what it is. Are you throwing up in your mouth, little?
Again. Can we get that garbage can on my side of the table?
You have another Marishka's garlic butter incident here, or what do we got going on?
I don't think you're figuring out the lowest common denominator because it's not the Marishkas.
But no, that's if I'd have waited seriously, probably 15 days, but let's say a month. I'm driving and I hear that and I get to work and I'm laughing. I'm just laughing. And everybody's like, what? You know, and I'm like, I got to tell you. And they're like, you just did that. And I was like, yeah, I know. That's why it was so funny. So, but I would have waited.
I was with a coworker. I'm not going to name names, but we had a company picnic. It was in the summer, and he had just had the procedure you had, and we were playing kickball. And
I don't think he should be doing that.
Well, he didn't tell people didn't know. It was a private thing. He didn't want to tell some people, but he should have just said, "Hey, I shouldn't be participating." Yeah. But we were down some people, and they're like, "Hey, you need to go out in the field." And they figured no one's gonna kick a ball that far. You should be fine to stand out there to be the numbers. Well, he's running to catch it, slips on the grass, falls down, ball hits him right in the ball contact, let's say.
Wow.
Yeah. Spent the rest of the day just looking like an 80-year-old man humped over. And he still didn't want to be like, I just had to proceed. Like, I'm fresh.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, because a kickball.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, good thing he didn't have to he never went up to bat, so to speak, because he was in the field once and that was it.
Yeah. Casey called a shot.
Yeah.
He couldn't round the bases.
Oh, man. But I haven't done that, but I have a similar story. Like, have you ever had surgery where they put you out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I had that, and I woke up, and I had a catheter, and I don't remember them telling me that was going to happen.
Oh.
Yeah, I woke up, and I was like, what? That doesn't feel right. Oh. There's additional plumbing here.
They should not be surprises.
And they take that out, and they're like, hey, you need to go to the bathroom within X amount of time, and if you don't, we got to put that back in. That puts the fear of God of you, because when I was asleep, I don't know who did it. I don't know what they did. But when now I see someone walking in with the plumbing, and I know, you know, me and Mr. Roto-Rooter here are going to get familiar. Yeah. I don't want to look someone in the eye as they're like, oh, hold on, I got to take a weird left turn in here. I wasn't expecting this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. This is a lot deeper than I thought.
That's a lot of stress.
They use that 10-foot cable.
Yeah. Are you fixing the sink? I don't think I don't need that.
Is this hitting the back of your teeth? How far is this in there?
How big is that tube? It's like a quarter inch. I don't know. That's too. Yeah, but I was like,
I've never had
that's stress when you're like, okay, I want all the water in the world in me now, so I can have something to. Oh, because they're like, yeah, if you don't go to the bathroom, we got to put this back in. I'm like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I don't care if I explode. I'm fine. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to be awake when you put that in. Is my point.
Do you guys have a pool? I will go down there right now. We'll go down there right now. It will be dry when I'm done. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I never had a catheter though. Knock on wood, I guess.
I shared a room with a guy at this is when we still did share. Like I've had surgery since then where you go and you have your own private room, which is nice. But I'm sure we pay a whole bunch more for that. But I woke up. There's a guy in the bed next to me. I can't see him because the curtain's halfway pulled. He's like, yeah, I don't have a body past my torso. That's how he introduces himself. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, he had a motorcycle accident and everything was ripped off.
Oh, no way.
Everyone that walked in, he would be like, hey, I don't have a body, but it didn't matter if they're coming to see me, coming to see him. That's how we started. He would always go into that. Fast forward to later that night, when they changed my IV, they'd accidentally wrapped it around the railing of the bed. So I roll over and pull that out. So now my arm is just shooting blood all over the whole. Spoilers, I hope if anyone's blood squeamish, it's too late. Shooting all over everywhere. I can't reach my button because I can't, like, it's fallen down. I'm like, hey, can you help me? He reaches the button. So his button is the one that's called. So the nurses are going to react to him.
Oh, no.
So they come in. He's like, oh, hey, I don't have a body below my torso. He starts telling the whole story. And I'm like, hey, that's cool, buddy. Can we wrap this up? I kind of got a thing over here. And they look over and they're like, oh my God. Like, yeah. Literally, I look like a serial killer had been in the room. The whole bed is soaked.
Are you giving them the light? Like when the thing's over?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Story's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't your 5-minute light. This is your done light. We're bringing the hook out.
Yeah. I'm going to kill the mic in a minute.
This literally goes into a story. And when they left, I was like, you knew I was like bleeding out over here, right? That's why we called the nurse. He's like, yeah, but I just like to tell that story. I'm like, cool. You can tell to my corpse.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God.
His next one's going to be, I don't have anything below my torso. Yeah. And the guy in the bed
next to me died over there.
He died next to me. I got my own room.
I called the nurses down and they didn't even respond. I don't know what happened.
Half a guy gets a whole room. It's crazy.
Yeah. I wonder if he got like straight A's from college because his roommate died. I don't know if did they cover that too.
Oh, remember? Yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. No, that was my other left turn, right turn, that
left turn.
Yeah, it is. I still remember her voice. That was so great.
It was like those positive affirmations too. Like, oh, you just keep going straight, honey. You'll get there in a minute. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who is saying this?
Yeah.
Is there another you in the trunk? Like, I don't know where this is coming from. Are you like a robot or something? Because it was her voice, but like the wrong cadence. That was what was weird about it. It'd be like suddenly if I'm talking to you, I'm like, and now let's talk about like my voice, but the wholly wrong.
Yeah. Well, because it was using the electronic cadence.
It was
just her voice. That was awesome. You got any more?
Do you want the big one? I mean, it's a big one. I've told the story to a few people. But I feel like if I tell the story now, I think I'm done with it. I don't think I ever want to tell it again. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty big.
If you tell this story, is it going to wreck you for the rest of the time?
I've told it enough. There's been enough time passed, but it's not a story I enjoy.
Okay.
So I've had some health issues. I've had some medical things.
Correct. Yeah.
And for a while there, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
So I've had upper and lower gastrointestinal issues. I've had a lot of things where I've been on a lot of medications. I'm trying different things. Things to work. I found out driving in a rural area that I was no longer able to process dairy.
Yeah.
There's a whole story about that. Some farmer probably had to burn that tree down. If anyone wants that story, let us know. I'll tell it, but that's not what I'm talking about here. But anyway, I was going through some medical stuff. I didn't know what really was going on. So, and then my dad got sick. And we had just moved into our house. He was super proud. It's like my son bought his first house. He was super proud. He was helping us move in.
Yeah. And
he fell. And he was like, so he's sitting down in the chair and he's like, you can tell he's winded. And it was the first time I'd like, you see when your parents age, like your dad is no longer Superman. You see he's actually human.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to see.
Yeah. It's hard to see. Like it was the first time, like he wasn't like, Mr. Wilson, the math teacher everyone talks about, or the principal I had.
Yeah.
Right. He was, he was my old man, legitimately my old man.
He's human.
Yeah. He's human. And I don't know how much time's left.
Yeah.
That's the first time it hit me. Like, I don't know how much time's left. So that's cut to a few weeks later. He's in the hospital.
Yeah.
And for a story I won't go into, I lived in Urbana and my parents went to the hospital in Urbana. So he's closer to me than he is to my mom. He is literally, and I'm not saying literally to say literally, he is literally a 5-minute drive, a 15-minute walk at best. Like he's not that far. He's right there.
Yeah.
So my mom has been down staying with him and she's going home to get some clothes, get sleep in her own bed, just refresh because she's been there for a few days. They think it's pneumonia. They really just can't figure it out. And he's feeling better. So he sends her home. He's like, get refreshed, shower in your own shower, sleep in your own bed, get your chance. And I'm staying with him. And he's like, I'm talking and you can tell he's tired. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to sit here. Go take a sleep. Go take a nap. Go to sleep. He's like, no, go home. It's fine. I was like, no, I'm going to stay with you. He's like, no, it's fine. Here's the thing is I think he knew.
Right.
I think he knew something. He didn't want me to be there. And it was weird because we were having a conversation and he said to me, like, this is the first time. So he went home over Christmas break. So this is Christmas break. He hadn't been back yet. It's mid-January. He hadn't been back yet.
Okay.
He's like, I don't miss it. This is the first time I don't want to go back.
Really?
Yeah. And he loved, that's why he stopped being a principal. He loved the kids. He loved the teaching. He loved seeing the people like get it. Like he would explain math to kids individually. He would be like, this is how math is explained. Yeah. And then be done.
He's a guy that done it without a paycheck.
Yeah. He's saying how you need it. Yeah. I can't tell you how many people he tutored and he usually charged X, but all they had was Y, and he would take Z, as in less than Y, because he knew.
Right.
Like, I know that's what you can give. This is what I'm going to take from you.
Right.
Because he just wanted people to learn. He wanted that.
Yeah.
But this is the first time he's like, I don't want to go back. It's changed now. It's different. I was like, oh wow, that's quite a revelation. So that was earlier in the day, and then later he says, you should go home. And I'm not feeling well because I'm really stressed, because I'm working all day, then I'm going to see my dad, and I don't know what's wrong with him. I can tell he's not right.
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling well. I can't figure out what's going on with me, but I'm putting that on the back burner. And I hadn't been sleeping, and so I'm at home, and I get a call. And it's the hospital. And they're like, hey, you should probably come back. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then maybe an hour later, I get another call. I realize I was asleep, so I was in my sleeping clothes. I realize I'm half in my pants. I have a shirt on, and I'm holding the phone. So I had sat back down while getting dressed, and I don't remember. They're like, you should probably really come back. You should probably come back. I was like, okay, I'll be right there. I don't remember what happens next. The next call I get is my mother calling me from the hospital because she had made it down before me. Now that's like an hour and a half to 2 hour drive.
You were that exhausted.
Yeah, I was just
that beat.
Yeah. And to their credit, they can't say, hey, your dad's dying, please come here, because they know they don't know where I live. They don't know I could walk there safely. They're worried about me rushing. Right.
It's dangerous.
And not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, and I get that. I don't blame them for anything. But this is all she said. I was just like, hello. She's like, Ted, your dad died. That was it. And then she broke down. I think the pastor of her church was there, and he talked to me a little bit.
Yeah.
And now I'm still exhausted. I still have no idea what's going on. I'm still half dressed. I go up. I tell Tina, I'm like, we have to go to the hospital. And she said, what? And I said, he's dead.
Yeah.
And she can't figure it. Because, you wake someone up from a deep sleep and someone says that, like, has no idea what's going on. Doesn't realize I've already had 2 phone calls. I kind of have a little bit more information than she does.
Yeah.
And we go there. And it's the only, and I don't regret I just wish that I would have woken up, or I hadn't left, or I'd stuck to my guns, because I knew that day when he was like, you should go home. I'm like, no, I should stay here. I knew I should stay. But I was so tired. I wanted to respect my dad. He said, please leave. Yeah. I just want to sleep. I don't want to worry about you. Please go home. I can tell you're not feeling well. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. You're really not feeling well. I shouldn't go. And so all the other stuff is just the story that I let eat me for a while. The eat at me, like just dig in I didn't wake up, or I was too worried about myself, or I didn't get there in time. I let that eat me for a while. I'm done with it. I've passed that. Yeah. I can't change that. But I really wish I would have stayed when he said go home, because it's the fact that he died without, like, even if I would have just been on the other side of a glass wall or something, just for me to be there. Yeah. That's the thing I miss, is that he died alone in a hospital with people that he didn't know.
Sounds like he did that on purpose, though.
That's just my stuff. I can't say yes or no.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like it, though.
Yeah, but it just sucks. It was so close. Yeah. Like, if it had been across town even, or 3 towns away, or my mom had to go from literally, the south suburbs to Champaign-Urbana, which is the middle of the state for people listening from outside of Illinois.
Right.
She got there before me, because my brain just could not overcome all of the stuff that had, like, combined on that day.
Right.
So when I used to tell the story, I used to not be able to get to the end of it.
Yeah.
So
you did good.
I've told it enough.
You did good.
I've processed it. It's been, it'll be 20 years. I want to say that's right. Yeah, it'll be 20 years. No, 19 years. It's almost 20 years. 20 years almost in January. Yeah. I knew when I was leaving, I'm like, I shouldn't leave. I should stick around.
Yeah. But you don't want to defy your dad. You want to follow.
It's what you want. It's the same thing. Like, there's a lot of things, like, you want to do the right thing, but if someone says, as long as they're not doing something unethical, like I want you to do something else.
Right.
That's their choice. That's their life. You have to accept that.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't say, hey, I want you to leave and go murder some dogs on the way home. He was just like, I just want you to go home and get some sleep. I'm your dad. I can see that you as my son need some rest. Please go get some rest.
Yeah.
I just, because that was him. He didn't want to be a bother to people. He didn't want to be a burden. He didn't want to think people were putting him out. And I get that same thing from him. Like, people are like, oh, hey, yeah, sure, you can couch crash, but we'll give you our bedroom. We'll cook dinner for you. We'll cook breakfast in the morning. I'm like, no. I just need a pillow and a blanket. I don't need any of that. I'll go sleep in your yard. Yeah, because I just got that from him. Like, we don't want to put anyone out. And it's weird, because usually sometimes they take offense, because they're like, I'm trying to do this for him. Why won't he just accept the favor? So I'm trying to get better at that. Like, I don't want to overpull, but I don't want to also seem like too standoffish when people do that.
Yeah. Well, you just so you know, and that story is pretty intense. But I think I don't know that you should regret anything from it. You don't sound like you do.
Yeah, I just like you said, like left turn, right turn. I just because I know staying there he wouldn't be here today. I get that. Like staying there wouldn't have changed that.
Right. Either way. Yeah, you're not. You weren't going to stop.
I'm doing it to make myself feel better, which is why I got over it. Like
so honestly, then selfishly, if you'd have stayed, you might have done something he didn't want.
I'm saying, like, this whole time I've tried to make myself feel better about it when it wasn't my choice in the first place. He was the one that said you need to go.
Yeah,
because I don't think he wanted me to see that. And that's just my supposition, but literally, it's weird. On that day, it was the only day he was like, yeah, you know what? I just want to be by myself. Go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Home.
Well, and like you said too, there was a kind of a revelation made about, his thoughts towards, his profession and everything else. Yeah. So yeah, there, I'm sure there was something there, but yeah, that's a little deeper than anything I had. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's why I was like, I don't know if I want to tell it, but that's literally the only thing I think. Because everything else, like I was talking about, it's all hypothetical. It doesn't matter anyway. But I think I got to this point by making all of my decisions. If I change one decision, would I still be in the seat? I can't say I would be.
Yeah.
So, other things I wish I had done differently? Sure. Would I go back and change them if I had the opportunity? Probably not.
Yeah, and see, that's the same here. Like, I have lower back issues, and I was a plumber for a while.
If you took those implants out of your chest.
Well, I'm quite a fan.
Those aren't?
Quite fond of them.
Those aren't implants?
Yeah, no. Stop calling me Pam Anderson. Mac, if you're laughing over there, I swear to God,
no,
crazy.
He stopped paying attention like 20 minutes ago.
Okay, good. He's eating zebra cakes, but
would be.
But no. So when I was a plumber, my back slipped a disc and did this and that.
Wait, you said disc, right?
Disc, yeah, with an S, yeah, SCK. So anyway, I I slipped a disc, and
wait a minute,
and so I look back because I've had a back issue since. Yeah, see, I've had a back issue since. But if I was never a plumber, that whole story I told you about my wife and all that, you know what I'm saying? So you look back and you go, well, man, I wish I wouldn't have put myself through that because it's not like it was my long lasting profession and la, la, la. But in reality, it changes the course of events that put forth where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And my replacement garbage disposal might still work.
That's where we're going, huh? Is that where we're going? Is that where we're going?
Well, your assistant was kind of garbage. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, my assistant was really garbage. So,
do I turn it on now?
Yeah.
Ted, my hand's still in it. I know. Do I turn it on now?
My hand is still in it. Did you plug it in already? A little bit. How do you plug something in a little bit? How does that happen? So, hey, if we want to lighten things up, I appreciate you sharing that because seriously, guys, this is about entertainment, and I know we're trying to. I don't say we're trying to be funny.
At some point where we're not coming here to sit down like we are going to be funny. We're telling stories,
right? And
sometimes they spin funny, and sometimes they spin like, oh, I wish I hadn't tuned into this one.
Yeah, but the thing is like your story right there might resonate with people who normally find us to be funny but not entertaining, and that might be like, you know what, that's entertaining, that's heartfelt. You know what I mean? Other people might be like, get over it, Wilson.
For you, I should have worked in Tony Danza.
Was he at the hospital?
No, but I think he was on the TV, maybe.
Oh, man.
I should have called a taxi and then had Tony Danza drive me.
You said, what else was he in? I could have said Taxi, but I didn't watch Taxi a whole lot, That had your, what's that, Christopher Lloyd?
Christopher Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, he was in there. And then Danny DeVito, which my son got a picture of this week for no reason. My other son got free posters, and he got my daughter one of the Little Mermaid, now that I'm on a tangent. And she loved it. And then he got one of Danny DeVito standing in a Jesus pose, holding an egg in one hand and something in another. It was like one of those, like if you're at a flea market and someone wants a nickel for it, you go, my buddy's totally getting this thing. Yeah, my son got that. Are you looking up the same picture?
Is it any of these?
No, it's very similar to some of those pictures you're showing. Yeah,
there is a.
Yeah, did Danny DeVito ever play like a religious guy? Is that what I'm missing?
I don't know about that part, but there is a It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where he's trying to sell like egg as merch.
Then you know what? That's probably what it's from.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's one show that I wish I could get into that I never did.
I got into it, but it was a struggle at first. Oh. Thank you, Big Mac. That's what I wanted.
Some people make it like The Office though, and stuff like that. Is it to that level? Can it be like the cult following?
Oh yeah.
Is it really a cult following?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just never got into it. And you know what's cool though is now it's there, and between Netflix and everything else, if I ever wanted to, I could probably just go binge. I could binge watch it.
Yeah,
you know. So
just like the first season of The Office, the first season of Sunny, it's rough. You got to push through, or you can skip it. Just do whatever you want.
Really? Yeah, because it's not one of those things where they're setting stuff up.
DeVito comes
in
on the second season because they were like, you need to bring someone else in, or you're not coming back.
Yeah. But hey, so future topics. Yeah, future topics. How about this one? This one can be fun too. I had a customer come in this week to where I work, and he actually used to teach me welding when I was with plumbers, pipe fitters, right? And I hated welding. I wanted to be a plumber. I hated the fumes from it. I hated doing it, but you had to do it as part of your apprenticeship. So we'd have Saturday classes like once a month, and you'd be there and you're welding. So they wanted to send somebody for donuts, and he knew the best guy to send for donuts would be the guy that doesn't want to be there anyway. But I mean, I out of respect, I did it. Seriously. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Don't send the fat guy for donuts. Yeah, I see
there's
where you're
a
going.
hierarchy here.
Right. He got 5 dozen, came back with 3. I'm not sure. It's only 3 blocks away.
Damon, the receipt says you got a gross of donuts.
Yeah. you get a bushel of Boston creams. But no, I went for donuts. I came back, and what I did when I was there, I went to Home Cut Donuts here in Joliet, right? And I went there, and I came back. I got 2 empty boxes. So when I came back and I had this whole stack of boxes, I tripped on purpose, and you watched me crush the hopes and dreams of like 15 to 18 grown ass men, plus the advisor or the teacher that sent me. Right. And then when the boxes hit the floor, nothing pops out of them. Because how can a box of donuts, seriously, and you got to have one heck of a good tape job on there for that not to open up. Hits the floor, nothing pops out of them. They all call bullshit right away, you know. But he remembered that. And I thought, that's really weird because I honestly, Ted, I didn't remember it. I do. Once he started telling me the story, I'm like, I remember it like it was yesterday. But you know how your brain, like it's kind of weird what people remember you for.
Yeah.
You know, I have other people too. They'll tell me a joke. They'll say something and they'll look at me like with this weird look, like, you're going to start laughing. And I look and I go, am I missing something? And they're like, you said that 2 years ago was the funniest thing I ever heard. And I'm like,
oh, I think this is just a back way to getting Damon to say that about himself.
No, but I'm sure you get the same thing.
That you're the funniest thing I've ever heard?
You have to, especially from your mom. But anyway.
Oh, me? I don't get people telling me that you've said the funniest thing. Yeah, no.
No, your mom probably tells you that I'm the funniest person she knows. What I'm saying is, your sister don't like me anymore. I didn't show her any karate last week, so it is what it is. But I guess it'd be neat for like the like lasting impressions. You know what I mean? Like what?
This guy flattened a donut box.
Yeah. Really, if you just gave me a full one, you could watch me flatten that donut box too. It just be in a totally different way. I'm going to need a gallon of milk and you to turn your head for a minute. Watch out for shrapnel. Cover your eyes. Yeah. It's like throwing a midget in a wood chipper. You don't want to stand around when I'm eating a box of donuts. Is that a real thing? You're shaking your head like I said something wrong.
You did. You did.
So, but I'm just saying the lasting impressions. I'd like to know what those are from people, and something that might. Can I go here?
I hope you do. Please do.
Something that offends you.
Something that offends you. But that's what you won't be able to write in with stuff that offends them.
Something that offends you. And again, we can select the topics. I mean, I'm not going to pick the stuff that's obvious and it's going to bring an end to the world. I'm not going to talk about that stuff. But something that offends you. Okay. You want a quick one from me? It's the Michelin Man. He offends me.
The Michelin Man offends you.
Yep.
Are you going to extrapolate on that, or are we just?
I might next time.
Okay.
But it's the Michelin Man. You know what I mean? So for personal reasons, if you see me in a white T-shirt, if you put me in one of those white beaters we talked about, I think you'll understand.
It like vacuum seals to the skin. Like that's the most amazing shirt I've ever seen. Like I don't know how it works.
Yeah, very similar.
Like they should wrap meat in that. The way it.
Yeah, but I do like the people that reached out. Like I said, that said that it gave me different stories. Most of them were just little stuff, and like I said, it did not. It would not change the what's it called trajectory, I guess, of your life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it was stuff they wished they had done, or stuff that they missed opportunities. The biggest one that stuck out to me was Gina, because she wrote that nice big paragraph. Yeah. And it sounds like she could be working on Tony Danza's hair right.
Can we take a minute for that?
Yeah.
We had a live show last week. We thought a lot. We thanked a lot of people.
Yeah.
We forgot some people.
Camera came on. I got stupid. On,
yeah,
I got stupid.
You got deer in the headlights with your own eyes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We forgot to thank Gina.
Yeah. Well, when we did, because we were doing shout outs and she comments on a lot.
She comments on everything.
And
she shared some stuff. Yeah, promotes our
stuff.
She has her own podcast people should listen to.
Yeah. Yeah. Intentionally Lola. Correct. And we put that up on our page too. So actually she just did her last episode
they do seasons, right?
They do seasons. We do not. We do.
But you can take the time to catch up on her podcast because presumably there's going to be a break and then they're going to come back.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So you're right. So you can do that. But I think she's introducing her one of the new people there in this episode too. So, but theirs is more intelligent. Hers is definitely more
more deeper conversations.
Yeah, certainly, kind of where you went today, which was good. And hey, I'm proud of you. You told me you might get a little. You didn't get choked up. I had a tear in my eye. I don't know if you saw it or not. I had a tear in my eye.
Well, I think that was more over the zebra cakes than anything.
That was because I hear the rappers over there, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now, Big Mac? This is happening.
Yeah. Mick turns off like the air conditioning, turns off all creature comfort. Suddenly he's unwrapping a zebra cake.
Yeah. But I think if we could do that, like what's a lasting impression you either got from someone, you left on someone that you know of, or if you want to make it real fun, because there's a lot of people that know you and me, what would you say you know us for? And not this podcast. Tell us another way you know us. Because there's some way you started listening to us. My buddy Billy said you're hysterical, and I had to listen to him. And now I'm stuck listening to you guys because you're in my feed. I don't know how to delete the podcast, and it comes to me every week. And until I listen to it,
I just get in the car and it just starts playing. I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Damn smartphone. It's not figured out that I don't like this podcast. But no, that could be something too. I mean, lasting impression. But I kind of want to know those. I'm not trying to get deep or not. We'll have fun with it. It won't be like a some store rant, but no, we'll have fun with it. And again, something that offends you. I tell you what, I said the Michelin Man, just so you know, you're in the same category. I'm offended. There's only 40 pizza rolls in a package. I don't understand. If it's supposed to be a meal, why do we stop at 40? If it's a snack, that's a little heavy. You know what I mean? But that's where I'm at. Why do they post weight limits on things like ladders? I think that's discriminating.
Well, it's weird. The weight limit for ladders, you look at it and you're like, this, you plus the load can only be this. And you're like,
so it's just like parachuting?
Yes. Thank you. So you're going to have to get a chimpanzee to go up the ladder for you. A lot of the ladders they have at work, I asked, this is when I was heavier. We had to do a work thing that we had to be on a ladder. And they're like, be safe, check the load of the ladder. And I literally wrote in, I'm like asking for a friend, what happens if I'm fatter than the load already that the ladder can do? And they're like, well, ask someone else, they'll go up the ladder. And I'm like, okay, the other guy here
makes me look small.
Hypothetically, is fatter than the load on the ladder. What are we supposed to do? Like, why are you getting a ladder that can only hold 150 pounds?
Yeah. Well, remember when they used to have the aluminum ones?
Remember?
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
But like I said, just stuff like that. It could be silly stuff. And that's really what I'm looking for is the silly stuff, But I think if we do those two topics and then I don't know if we'll record next week or not. I'm kind of liking this every week stuff.
Brian's bank account's like everything. Yeah,
Brian financially has a windfall. He has.
Oh, wait, Brian has
on that topic.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you and I have discussed this, but everybody listening, I will give Damon and Ted $25 studio credit for any referrals that come this way.
Oh,
if they book time and they say, "Hey, Ted and Damon," in that order, referred me.
Okay, well, I call bullshit. I'm getting 4 zebra cakes now. 4.
Well,
not 4 packages. That's 2 packages. 4 zebra cakes.
You're also getting out your checkbook because he's not getting any referrals. I'll tell
you. Yeah. So now that me and Ted know about it, Brian, would you like anybody else to know?
Yeah, if your other podcasts, if they mention Ted and Damon, can they
your tens of fans?
Yeah, or tens of fans.
Wait, we got to get him off the admin list to see he can see the analytics.
That's weird.
He knows too much.
Yeah, he's in too deep. He's in too deep.
I think we've rattled on enough.
Yeah, we really have. But hey, think about that for next week. Like I said, think about that. I think that would be fun to get on social media. We'll find some weird ways to put up posts and stuff.
Yeah, we'll be more engaging this week, I hope.
Yeah, and now that I'm back focusing on this, like I said, I really think that we're going to record next week. So, but then if we're going to go back to every other week, we're going to do a little tune-up thing or something where we have a 10-minute, 15-minute, something like what we just did here, where we talked about the Michelin Man pizza rolls, this and that, thought-provoking, that will get you ready for the next one. You know what I mean? We'll do that. But for right now, I think Big Mac, I think you just got a commitment, just like I got out of 6 zebra cakes.
That number just keeps going up. I notice every time we bring it up. I'm getting 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Zebra cakes, go mouth.
I got to be honest with you. I'm going to have some. I mean, I'm looking you dead in the face and telling you, and I'm like twice your size. So you can give them to me willingly, or you can be covered in zebra cakes while I'm eating them over your corpse.
All right, everybody. I don't think we need to take this on air. They can have this negotiation off air. I have been Ted. Unfortunately, I've been here with Damon. This has been That Checks Out with Damon and Ted.
That checks out. Seriously, I'm getting some zebra cakes. Not even.
You can
listen. You guys better care. I'm getting one package.
I don't need care about your zebra cakes. I like last week. Like I start talking, like I'm telling you something, and then I realize I can't hear myself, and then I'm like, oh, that's not it. And then I forgot to lift the feed up, so I watched it later, and I'm like, oh, I'm just talking to nothing, right? But it's great. Like there's not a whole lot of interaction between us, and then we go to the camera after we had cut the mics, and you can see like we're talking back and forth. We're talking to Brian. But while we're on the camera, while it's going, we're like.
Yeah, I know.
But as soon as the audio's off, we're like,
yeah. We're not. We're like, it's like Bobby Brady in the Piety contest. The light come on. He's like,
yeah, it was literally,
yeah.
When it's time to.